You are watching UCU Focus TV. Welcome to Media Link News with Brian Kabogoza.
Good evening to you, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Media Link News Bulletin. My name is Brian Kabogoza. But first, let's have the headlines. The School of Law heads to the polls next week.
I was like the only hope for the students.
School of Social Work incorporates E-CHAGUA system. And in sports, lawyers become unruly at the pitch. The School of Law heads to the polls next week, but many are asking themselves whether it is necessary for them to have a society, given the fact that they are well represented in the guild. We'll have more of this report.
University students countrywide grapple with numerous challenges related to tuition, missing marks, student-lecturer relationships, limited internship and mentorship, and UCU is no exception to these. Just like the other students, law scholars in UCU have had their fair share of these challenges.
One of the challenges that are being faced by law students is difficulty in accessing legal information, textbooks and authorities. To begin with, the times that we access the libraries is a little limited, yet we need to do continuous reading, of course, as a law student, and that is why we need more time, and actually that is why it is important that we get these law journals to access information a little more. Maybe also accessing our online law library so that we get closer to the LexisNexis and the e-law resources. The other challenge that is being faced is an issue with tuition. The law tuition is close to 4.6 million, and that's a huge sum of money for all the people that would love to access law school at UCU.
Some of my classmates, though not me, have faced a problem of missing marks. Like there are some marks that missed since first semester, and they've not received their marks yet. So that's a very big problem for us, the law students. And the leaders have come in saying they're going to address the issue of missing marks, and they've not addressed anything. Because I remember when I just came in my first year, the president that was going there told us, I'm going to work on the issue of missing marks, and nothing was done.
One of the challenges we face as law students is the fixed timetable. Mine personally is the fixed timetable, because I find myself seated in class like from 8 to 6, and I literally have no time to do research, yet there is a lot to research about.
But the School of Law has mastered the art of winning many posts in the CN Guild, also taking into account that the Law Society was dysfunctional for the last 6 months. Today we ask the question, do we still need a Law Society? The School of Journalism, where I stand, just has 2 MPs in the Guild government, and anyone could make a case for us to have a society. However, the School of Law has got the Vice President, both clerks to Parliament with the Speakers, Prime Minister, and over 90% of the Guild Tribunal is composed of lawyers. Many are asking, with all these leaders in power, what would be the relevance of a society to the School of Law? We reached out to a number of contestants and asked them about what they can do for the School of Law that the Student Guild might not do. Here lies the relevance of the society.
But that doesn't mean that if you have a number of lawyers, it doesn't mean they shouldn't lead, because the fact is, lawyers are natural-born leaders. Lawyers are leaders. The profession of lawyering is a profession of leaders. And that said, we need all these lawyers there, because these are brilliant brains.
It is very much of importance to have the Law Society on board. The Law Society addresses issues that cannot be addressed by the Guild government. I'll give an example of mentorship, yes? Whereas we are all here pursuing different careers, and as members of the Guild government, there are very many careers within the government. But when it comes to Law Society, we measure down to actually lawyers, you know. And these mentorship programs are brought in through the Law Society. If you are a subscribed member of the society, you are able to get and understand how things are supposed to be done, and just like that, you will be able to help the students in that area.
The UCU Law Society is really relevant no matter the fact that we are leaders in different fields like the guild, everywhere, but we are relevant. First of all, we are known to be the best law school in Uganda, and with that, we should also have a strong society. This society not only builds us it builds the law students, because first of all, it gives us a way to express our views through our society.
The law society is relevant because it provides mentorship programs for our students, which the guild cannot do. You find that when a student comes up, they are able to be given a mentor who is going to be able to lead them through their law school, and you find that law school is not as hard as it should be, and I believe that the guild cannot be able to step up in such a position, and that's why we really need the law society.
These are two different organs and entities. The guild is another entity, and also the law society is another entity. If you look at all leaders in the guild, all of them are allocated duties according to the constitution of the guild. I will attract your attention on the position of MPLO. MPLO is like a leader who represents the lawyers in the guild government. But this person has duties, and you find out that the current leader, the current MPLO, actually is the deputy. Is a deputy minister for finance. So this shows that this person is now overwhelmed. Now, this brings now another MP that is another MPLO, because we are represented by two MPs in the guild. That is Honorable Anyu. She's a speaker. This shows how these leaders are overwhelmed in the office. It shows that they have been given more duties, and then this is where the law society comes in. She cannot be having a parliamentary sitting, and she comes to lobby for missing marks.
Despite the fact that the outgoing society has laid ground for infights, Honorable E-CHAGUA is hopeful that it can still yield much. These are his sentiments.
Actually, it's so unfortunate that you may not be aware of the different problems the students have faced within that time frame of 8 months. Personally, as I was contesting for MP Law, I was like the only hope for the students, because the law society was dysfunctional. It was, first of all, unpopular. So how did it affect the different students? Whereas right now, they are missing marks of the other semester. They are missing marks of the other semester. This would have been catered for by the society.
Despite questions rising about the relevance of the society to the School of Law, given their numbers in the spheres of leadership, it's now known to us that there is much more to be done than meets the eye. However, it's left to be seen whether the incoming leadership will deliver according to their promises. Marvin Twinawe, COPERATE Timothy, Media Link News.
Thank you so much, COPERATE Timothy and Marvin Twinawe. The School of Social Work has incorporated the E-CHAGUA system into the electoral process. Basing on the experience of the guild election, many students still have mixed feelings about this process. We have this report.
Following the weaknesses observed during the preceding virtual guild elections, the Faculty of Social Work is bent towards integrating virtual measures as they plan to vote their leaders. Michio Koji, a student of social works, recalls battling with the E-CHAGUA system during the previous voting process.
The challenges I faced during the voting were it was quite slow, like to pick up like the voters or the candidates to vote for the election. The second point would be, I would talk about maybe the inadequate personnel like to come in and to help, because at that time I was during internship and I was quite home. So I would think also the personnel, they're quite hard to reach.
The question comes whether they are well prepared to combat these challenges.
We have the timetables of each social work class, so we are going to each class and telling them how to vote and how everything is supposed to be. And for those who don't have access to the smartphones or laptops or etc., we shall have the help desk where they can come and vote. Since it will be a school day, it will be a Wednesday, and we believe that they will be on campus. So if someone has a challenge with voting wherever they are, they can come there and be able to vote.
So this time around, we thought twice that we would push social work students session to another step where we would be using the alpha to vote. So that one, at least we'll try to make it look to the students that really this elections was free and fair.
However, students from the said faculty still have mixed feelings about whether or not the online system can deliver a successful election.
Yeah, online is better because if you vote for the first time, they can't allow you to vote for the second time. You only choose members you want, so there is no cheating. So I agree with it, with the online voting. We can go with it.
Online voting is not okay because sometimes there is delay in the submission of the verification codes, and this makes us not to vote sometimes. Even our network is poor sometimes, which makes us to miss out on voting.
The validity of these votes cannot be truly accredited because there are persons behind these systems, and for very many reasons, and different persons can claim that the elections have been predetermined on several occasions, and there hasn't been inclusiveness of everyone because persons who are not on semester at the moment cannot have access to all these online platforms. However, it could also be beautiful for the UCU system since at all situations not everyone is present on semester at the same time. So meaning those who are home could actually vote while they're online, but many of them have faced the challenge in that they are not accessing the online platform because it is only open to those who are registered at the accounts office.
The social works elections return next week, and despite the previous challenges with the E-CHAGUA system, there is hope that the electoral committee will deliver a free and fair election. Charlotte Nalule, Audrey Amuno, reporting for Media Link News.
Welcome back, Charlotte Nalule and Audrey. Moving on to sports. The interfaculty games are on, and the biggest takeaway from the fans is the encounter between the law and the social science that became frightful. We have more of this report.
The Faculty of Social Sciences held the School of Law to a 1-1 draw despite receiving a red card in the match that had many moments of poor match officiation. This prompted a number of rowdy fans and players to act offensively towards the match officials. We spoke to Coach Hillary and Captain Solomon of Law.
You see, we don't decide for people to make opinions. People make the opinions, people give their views about everything. But what actually happened is we want to inform the public about what happened and let them desist from the aspect of saying that Zaza is the head coach. Zaza is not the head coach of law school. I am the head coach of law school. My name is Fimarubo Hillary. I'm not called Zaza, and I don't think Zaza looks like me. So at the end of the day, what is going to happen is people have the ideas, people have the opinions. That is what they see, unless they can prove that Zaza is the head coach. But in regards to even that he was involved, yes, anything can happen. And to me, personally, I didn't see him get involved because my focus was all ensuring that the violence and the ruckus that was happening behind me was calmed down. And it has been alleged. Allegations must be proved beyond reasonable doubts to maybe put somebody liable, to come to a confirmation that it was him who behaved. Unless the proof is there, then we shall go ahead to accept that yes, it was him, and maybe probably administer the necessary punishment that is needed. But unless, if the proof is not there, and then why go? Because anything is possible. Somebody could come and say it was Hillary who misbehaved in the names of actually trying to tarnish and cause liability to the team. But unless it is proved, we have not come across such kind of information. And I want people to desist from saying he's the head coach.
The law team is always cherished as the cream of the interfaculties. And at the same time, as I was asked in the press conference, I don't desist from that fact. And we take the blessing. We keep the blessing amidst us. That's why many teams always, when Man City is playing, for example, they are taken as the cream, that they always want them to win. When the result does not show up, players and those fans keep coming in as criticizing that team.
Coach Henry and Captain Amos of Social Sciences gave us very different replies to the events that occurred during the match and the punishments given by the Interfaculty Disciplinary Committee.
I did not kowtow with their decision of banning Zaza for just 2 games because his characters did not portray the code and rules of coaches which govern us. So that was unfair. That's why at least they would have banned him for the rest of the matches. He brings in fans.
our opposition, our opponents, that's the law school. They went out of hand, and we all saw what happened, what transpired in the game. So I don't want to talk much about what happened.
Andrew Aboga, Made in Nyanzi, Media Link News.
And these law people should be disqualified. It is not right. You cannot bring violence at the pitch. Please.
Thank you so much, Aboga Andrew and Made in Nyanzi. Once again, we want to thank you so much for joining us in today's Media Link News Bulletin. We want to congratulate the para-counselors that have graduated today in the class of 2023. We shall be uploading their celebrations in our subsequent bulletins and also social media platforms. We want to appreciate and also celebrate one of us. She's a reporter. She's very enthusiastic and very committed to her job. That is Safari Agnes. Happy birthday to you. And of course, tomorrow shall be in a tight match with social sciences at 2 p.m. Come and support mass communication. Come and cheer us up. We are off semester, but of course we know we have the funds. Thank you so much. From me and the team, have a good night.